Good morning everyone, welcome to a new market update, and in this update we discuss whether or not Ethereum is going to make a new run, as it just has seen a massive crash. But does it mean that we're going to fall further, or are we going to see that Ethereum is regaining the losses of the previous period and just giving you massive opportunities? Because the social media engagement is just very low right now, meaning that people are not too much interested in crypto. While you would say that when everything is crashing down, people are finally quite happy and satisfied that they get the opportunities that they always wanted. But nothing is true. People are more or less expecting the markets to go down even more from here, while we even have seen a crash of more than 50% and sometimes even 80% on the altcoins. So let's discuss that topic, but before we continue, do not forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, like beneath, and also comment if you want to see some special content. And later today, we're going to publish an interview once again, as it's Wednesday, and then we also have those interviews. And today, it's a pretty cool project that we're going to publish. So when we look at Ethereum on the chart, we can see that we've got a massive drawdown, right? We've got a very high run up to like 4K, 4.4K. And since then, we didn't really have a retest of lower regions. And that's what we're currently experiencing with the markets. And then you get into two questions. And I'll just go through the two scenarios that we have here. One is the scenario that we are over and the market is just going to correct even further, which we have been seeing in 2019 after the Libra run. The other case is that the one that we have seen in March 2020, but also in August 2020, when we also had such a pretty heavy crash down, is that the market is going to stabilize or run back up to the levels that we used to be in, and then we can continue running in the coming period since. So what the question is right now is which of the two scenarios is going to happen at this stage for Ethereum. And when we can have critical support holding here, which is this entire weekly block, and even if you make it smaller, it's this entire region here that has to hold for Ethereum. If that is going to hold, we can slowly start grinding upwards based on whether the Bitcoin pair is going to show strength or not. And when we look at the weekly, I can think we can swap to the daily time frame. We can see that we've got a few very important levels to watch. The 3.2 level is very important to watch, and also the region between 3.7 to 4K is a very important level for Ethereum to watch. I'm not assuming that we're going to have a breaker of those in one go, but if we sustain support above the level at 2.4, which is the critical level that it has to hold for the lower time frames right now, because if that is lost, I think we're going to see a retest here and might get a bullish divergence. But if we do hold, I'm assuming we're going to have some tests here before everybody turns bullish, and then we're going to have some retest on the lower region just to see continuation afterwards, copy paste of this scenario that we have here. But if we do have further upwards momentum and retest those regions, you want to see whether the Bitcoin pair is going to show strength or not. And if this scenario of climbing up is actually happening with the markets for Ethereum, you can even start using Fibonacci extension to derive the next target of the impulse wave. So we've got the recent high, we've got the recent low, and then we can just use the Fibonacci extension tool and just derive the next target zones, which are 6K and which are 8.7K. It seems quite odd to do that right now, given that we've just had such a pretty heavy crash down, and given the fact that we've just seen the sentiment flip to ultra bearish. But if you look at the fundamental adoption and the growth of the network effect of crypto in general, we are still expanding at this stage. Price is not reflecting it, but the moment the price starts to crawl back up, the hype will start to gain back into the markets. And usually when we get into those regions, the ones that have been selling here will kick the market even further upwards, given that they want to FOMO back into the markets. So retail is the group of people that you hear the most on social media, but the bigger parties are currently accumulating the crypto space. So probably we'll be getting very much or pretty much enough bullish news when we get in these regions as well. So That's the scenario on the upside that we could have. If we do have a retest at 3.3 and we can't hold any critical level that's derived here, I think we're going to have a retest of this green zone. Still, the green zone is the critical level that Ethereum should hold. But if we get a grind back up, just like we have been doing after March, the target zones are 6K and 8.6K for Ethereum in the next run-up. So that's pretty heavy. But then we're going to look at Ethereum against Bitcoin. And we can actually see that we're still making this bull cycle, right? So we are making these higher highs, we are making these higher lows, through which continuation seems very much likely to happen for Ethereum. However, we've just witnessed 7 weeks of ultra green candles, and we've just had a harsh rejection. So as I've stated on Twitter earlier today, or earlier in the night, this is the critical breaker for Ethereum against Bitcoin. Doesn't seem likely that we're going to have another impulse wave in one go, but if you go back in history, you can see that we've also had such a very harsh corrective move in 2016, and since then another run-up happened in this stage. So you have to look at which critical level should be holding in order to justify a further bullish move. And we can also see that in 2017 this has happened. So right now the case is that we are holding the critical level for support, which is this block. If that is not holding, I'm assuming we're going to see a retest around 0.05. But if we do see this and we get back to the downside, make a bullish continuation pattern compression, it seems very likely that we're going to have that breaker, and then once again you want to use the Fibonacci extension tool to derive the next target zones. So if the continuation is happening, I think Ethereum could start running towards 6K, 8.7K, and potentially even 10K. So if you want to accumulate your positions, this crash has given you massive opportunities. I'm still utterly bullish on the markets, and tonight we're going to have an interview with a pretty cool project regarding the markets as well. So subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'll see you again soon.